Hello and welcome to Blooming Where You Are. I am Andrea and this is my daughter Maddie. We are co-hosting this series, Blooming in Pregnancy. This episode is going to be focusing on nutrition. We're talking about grains, beans, nuts, seeds. And many women never have actually been shown how simple grains and beans can be to incorporate into their everyday diet. These foods often feel unfamiliar or even intimidating. Would you agree with that?
Definitely. I have no idea about any of this, so I'm going to be learning with everybody else.
Well, this is great. Most of us didn't grow up cooking this way. I know we didn't. In our household, we didn't grow up cooking grains or beans this way. We went and got them in cans, and that's how we are familiar with grains and beans. We know them in breads, we know them in processed foods, but we don't know them in their whole state and how we can use them and how it's a very simple thing to incorporate. We're going to make them feel approachable, doable. Let's demystify real food and bringing it back to everyday life. One ingredient, one meal, and one rhythm at a time. Nourishment doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it just starts with becoming familiar with what you're going to be working with. Why do you think that whole foods feel intimidating?
No one learns how to use them. Like you said, we're only used to everything being processed and never looking like this. What do you do with that?
Yeah, it looks like it might take a lot of time. They look like they could be complicated.
Learning curve.
Well, it's not a very big learning curve. It's just becoming more familiar with what you're working with in the kitchen. Many of us didn't learn to cook with grains and beans from scratch. We are in a culture now that it's convenient, quick, whatever we can do fast. Processed foods became the norm. And whole foods can feel, like we said, time-consuming. Some might think they're more, and they can feel a little overwhelming. Today we're going to introduce three main categories of whole foods: grains, beans, and nuts and seeds. And we're going to ask, why eat them at all?
Right.
And the best way to prepare them, and we're going to see what we can do about building a rhythm around them to make it easier for you as mamas trying to incorporate them in your diet. When a woman feels confident feeding herself, she often feels more confident in her body overall. And that's our main goal through all of these podcasts, is helping pregnant women feel more confident and trusting in her body. And each time a woman prepares something simple, a whole food, the confidence does grow. Familiarity reduces the fear around the food. And feeding yourself well builds that trust that carries into pregnancy. All right, so we asked the question, why eat these at all? So let's talk about grains. Why eat grains at all? Well, whole grains have nourished pregnant women for thousands of years. They're steady, they're grounding, and they're sustained support. So let's talk about some of the benefits you get with grains. You get a steady energy, which is especially important in pregnancy. It supports digestion when they're well prepared. And we'll talk about a good way to prepare them that supports digestion so it's not hard on your body. Because in pregnancy, your digestion slows down.
Oh yeah, it's way different. You can tell. You can feel it.
Yeah.
At least I can feel it.
Yeah, so what can you do to support that and make it easier for you?
Yeah, and a lot of people will just say, well, have more fiber, but okay.
What does that look like?
Yeah.
What's fiber? Where do you get fiber from? Grains are grounding, they're warming, and they provide lots of mineral, and guess what?
Fiber.
They do. They have fiber in them. So they are rich in complex carbohydrates, which steadies and sustains energy. They're rich in B vitamins. And I don't know, when you were pregnant, do you ever hear about the B vitamins? How important are they?
I didn't hear about it a lot, but I heard it was good for like nauseousness and everything like that.
Maybe with you eating grains, it might help, because they're especially good in B1, B3, and B6, energy and nervous system support. And magnesium, which helps muscles relax, and it also is a nervous system support. And iron. A lot of women might have issues with anemia.
It's very common. Very common.
Yes, and grains can give you iron, and they offer that fiber, which is helpful for digestion and blood sugar regulation. They can prevent energy crashes. They support mood and focus. What we have here right now, we have some buckwheat, we've got tri-colored quinoa, and we have some millet over here. We want to talk about how to prepare these. So the first step is you want to soak the grains. The benefits of soaking them first, it makes them easier to digest. It helps the body access the nutrients more easily, and it reduces digestive discomfort, and it aligns with how the body naturally processes food. So soaking is a way of meeting the grain, let's say halfway. It's like pre-digestion, so the body doesn't have to work as hard. So what you would want to do is just put these in a bowl and pour water over them. That's it.
Just any amount of water?
You just want to make sure that they're covered. So once you get them soaking, you want to soak them for 24 hours. Just put them on your counter. You don't have to put a lid on them. If you want to put a paper towel on them, you can. Or if you do want to put a lid, that's fine too. But you're just going to let them soak for 24 hours. How hard is that?
Not hard at all.
How long do you think that would take you?
About 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
With a baby.
Okay, 5 minutes with the baby. Well, let's compare this to like your convenient foods. You got to get the package, you got to tear it open, you got to put it in the microwave and let it cook, right?
True.
All you got to do here is, if you want, say, like a cup, you'd want to do like a half a cup of your grain and then put maybe a cup of water over it or whatever you need to cover it. That's it. In my opinion, without a baby, that's less than 30 seconds. Less than 30 seconds to prep your grains, let them sit overnight and forget about them until the next day. That's what you want to do. Why this matters in pregnancy? It's because of what we talked about, right? They steady the energy, they help support the nervous system, I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with like those sugar spikes. Do you ever feel like you're like super high and then like, oh, super tired, you crash? And a lot of that has to do with what we're eating. So you might want to look at what you're eating. You know, how can you help support and steady that? And it's through grains. How do you eat grains a lot in their simple state or like
Never.
Never? Okay, well, this is great. Yes.
I know, I want to buy some now.
Yeah, well, here you go. You can try some. Actually, I have a homework assignment for you for the week.
I love it.
Yeah. So we're going to switch gears now because we talked a little bit about the grains, what they're good for, what they're rich in, but we're going to switch gears before we talk about cooking all of these because they kind of have a similar cooking method and they all are going to be soaked too. So we want to move on to the beans. What we have here are chickpeas and mung beans and some red lentils.
I do know red lentils. We have some. That's the only one that we have out of all of this.
Do you use them a lot? How do you cook them?
I've tried to make like a mash with other things in it, like shredded carrots or zucchini, but Jax doesn't like it too much. So the only thing that I found that he'll really like eat is like tots.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'll turn it into tots.
Mm-hmm. You know, one thing I've done with Jax when I've cooked this up, I've blended it and grinded it with like the banana avocado. You have to get creative, right? You have to hide it and conceal it in different things so they'll eat it.
Oh.
Well, why eat beans? What do you think? What do you know about beans?
Protein.
That's what we hear the most about, is they are an excellent source of protein. These are incredibly nourishing foods. The body needs energy and they need mineral support. Beans can offer that. They're an excellent source of plant protein, like we mentioned. They're rich in minerals like iron and magnesium, so are the grains. They support blood sugar stability and they're very nourishing. When you buy them dry, it's a lot cheaper than buying the cans.
I would find that shocking.
Yeah, well,
it's crazy.
Most people would. So what are beans rich in? We mentioned the protein, which is good for the tissue building and blood support. Iron, especially for blood volume in pregnancy. Magnesium calms the muscles and the nerves. Folate. Folate is the B9. Have you heard of folate before?
Yes.
Because
that's like the prenatal vitamins they always want you to take.
Oh yeah, you want to get your folate, right?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Folate is in the beans. It's critical for fetal development. That's why they want you to take folate.
Well, I need to get on these
There
beans.
you go. They also have zinc, which supports the immune system and growth, and fiber again. So there you have a double layer of gut health and blood sugar stability. So again, I'm going to ask the question, why do beans matter in pregnancy? They bridge the protein plus the minerals plus the fiber, and this combination is especially supportive during pregnancy. And again, we want to soak the beans because soaking beans is going to help your digestion. It's going to ease that up for you. It's going to reduce the bloating and discomfort. People associate beans with gas.
Yeah.
And it's typically not the beans itself that's giving that to you, it's the way they're prepared.
Oh, really?
So if you're soaking them like we're talking about for the 24 hours, it's going to eliminate that issue. Nice. And then you cook them for a long period of time, and that should eliminate the gassy issue.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I thought it just came along with being beans.
Right, and that's, beans get a bad rap for that, because who wants to eat beans and be gassy all day? Again, all you're going to do is take, say, a half a cup of any type of bean that you want. and pour water over it and let it sit for 24 hours. Now, your smaller beans like these lentils are probably only going to need to sit for like 6 to 12 hours, maybe just an overnight. Mung beans too, because they're a little bit smaller, but when you get to your chickpeas, black beans, kidney beans, you want your bigger beans to soak for 24 hours.
Okay.
That seems pretty simple, right?
Yeah. Not
Another
bad.
30 seconds out of your day. So you got your grains soaking, you got some beans soaking. Let's move on. We're going to go on to nuts and seeds. And
My favorite.
why. Yeah.
I know nuts.
You know nuts. Which are your favorite, by the way?
I like almonds and I like peanuts. Are peanuts good or just too salty?
Actually, I've learned of all of the nuts, peanuts go rancid the fastest.
Oh.
And they can have mold.
Well, it'll be nice to try new things.
It will be nice to try new things.
Choose the almonds.
Yeah, choose the almonds before that. Nuts and seeds are very dense foods. A little bit goes a long way. And what are some benefits of our seeds and nuts? They're healthy fats, which is very important for baby's development. They are rich in protein and minerals. They support satiety. What is that?
I have no idea. I've never heard of it.
It supports that full feeling. So you're not always feeling hungry.
Yeah,
You won't
that's
eat as
nice
much.
because being pregnant, I feel like I'm hungry all of the time, even after I eat.
We love this medley. This is pumpkin seeds and sunflowers. It's a really great snack, especially if you put like dark chocolate chips in there or any kind of chocolate
So
chips.
good.
We are dark chocolate lovers here. But this is such a great nourishing snack. But what happens is you ate way too much. And I don't mean you in general. I'm just saying
I do.
it's addicting. So
It
you
is.
will eat way too many.
You want to binge it.
Yeah, you do want to binge it. But guess how much is really the best amount to
Probably that right there.
have? Exactly. Yeah, this is about 2 tablespoons. And that is your daily intake of seeds.
That's so
That's it.
sad because I want more right now. I had a little bit and I want more.
Well, look at that. You can eat the rest of that and call it good. All these foods are incredibly nourishing. You want to soak your seeds and your nuts too for the same reason. Easier on digestion. It helps the body receive the nutrients out of them better. It's almost like pre-sprouting all of the grains, all of the beans, all of the seeds.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
even the almonds and stuff.
You can soak these overnight.
How would you eat it? Just a gooey, squishy almond then?
Well, you'd rinse them off, and then there's a couple of ways you can just eat them like that. You can store them for a little bit. They'll keep. They'll be a little bit moist, but you can still eat them that way.
Interesting.
Or you can dehydrate them, dry them out again. Let me explain what we have here. So these are hemp seeds. This is ground flax seed. We have walnuts, this medley, and then we have the almonds here. Hemp seed doesn't need to be soaked. Neither does flaxseed. So what are they rich in? The healthy fats, which are great for brain and nervous system development. Protein is the tissue support. Magnesium, relaxation, sleep, nervous system. Zinc, cellular growth, immune support. Calcium, that's one we haven't hit on quite yet, is the calcium.
No, we haven't heard that yet at all.
And that's bone and muscle function. And vitamin E, antioxidant support. And that's another one we haven't really talked about. And vitamin E is really good for not only antioxidant support, but really good for your skin.
Oh.
Right?
I need some of that.
Yeah. So why does this matter in pregnancy? Because the fats and minerals that are contained in them support mama and baby through pregnancy. They support baby's brain development, they calm the nervous system, and they improve that full feeling, that satiety. Help the body absorb nutrients from other foods. They're mineral dense and they are long-lasting nourishment. When you're talking about eating nuts, you don't need a lot of nuts either. Just a handful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soak them, put water over them till they covered. This is going to improve digestibility again. It makes the minerals easier for your body to absorb. It reduces the strain again on that digestion. That's very important. And all three of the foundational foods we're talking about eases digestion.
Yeah.
Especially the way that we're preparing them. And it actually helps the body feel calmer after eating.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
It shouldn't even be just for pregnant people either with that, because there have been like so many younger people nowadays that are having colon issues with like colon cancer and things, and higher rates of younger people are getting it, and they need to work on their digestion. So
Yeah,
this
they
is
need
good
to
for
find a way
everybody.
to, that's true. You have a good way to get your food in that your body is actually going to absorb
Yeah.
the nutrients out of it. Let's bring this full circle, because when we talk about nourishment in pregnancy, and we talked a little bit more about this in our last podcast, was the fruits and vegetables. We talked about fruits, vegetables, and then we did a little bit about the grains and nuts, but we really wanted to explain this a little bit more and have a better understanding of how to use these. Fruits and vegetables bring the freshness. We did talk about you want 50% raw. So you want to do your smoothie, your juicing, have that big salad in the day. Maybe even sprinkle some seeds on there.
Yeah.
When you're done soaking, when it's done cooking, sprinkle seeds, sprinkle some grains, whatever. You can incorporate this on anything that you're eating for the day. And then maybe your meal at night incorporates a little bit more of these things. Like a rice pilaf or a grain bowl that you throw some steamed veggies in or something. You know, you can make it real simple.
That sounds good.
Yeah, doesn't it?
I know, I'm so hungry right now.
Grains, beans, and nuts and seeds provide the minerals, the protein, the fats, and the energy that create the foundation. So together, the fruits and vegetables and this base create a really nice balance of food for the body. And see how simple that is? We don't have to get complicated at all. It's just, and there's no wrong way to do it. Just go in there and start experimenting. Maybe you're going to like this. Maybe you're going to like it this way. You never know, you know. So just go in there and have some fun. Because there are no rules here. There's no strict plan. And this is a great place to introduce a rhythm. Like, how can we get into a rhythm?
Yeah.
We talked about having a daily rhythm with the food that you eat. And with the grains and the preparation, it might be easy to do more like a weekly rhythm, because they'll keep, if you make a batch and you don't have a lot of time and maybe you don't want to do it once a week, they freeze really well. Your grains and beans, get them cooked up, freeze some, and then you can just throw them in as you need them throughout the week. So that's a good way to do it. A lot of overwhelm comes from thinking, I have to do this every day. I don't have time right now. This feels like too much. And we want to eliminate that.
Yes, that's how I feel.
Yeah, because you've got so many things going on. We talked about nutrition with intention. You have to put intention towards creating a rhythm. You have to put energy here. So you do have to carve out some time to make this happen.
Yep.
That's where the intention comes in.
But it's not a lot of time, so.
Right, it's not a lot of time. You might soak and cook a pot of grains and a pot of beans once a week. That's it. You know, just see what works for you, and maybe you have to do some adjusting.
Yeah.
That's it. That can reduce a lot of stress. When nourishment is prepared ahead of time, you're less likely to skip meals. You're less likely to reach for something that doesn't actually fill you up.
Yeah.
And your body will feel way more supported before it even asks. Like, most of the time when we're craving something, it's a little different in pregnancy because you always have weird cravings, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of times when your body is well balanced, it's not asking for anything. And so you might not feel as like...
intense cravings.
Yeah. We have this chart. It is a snapshot of the whole foods that we just talked about, their key nutrients and why they matter in pregnancy, and then the daily range of how much you should have in a day. Just some guidelines. And then on the back side of this is the cooking instructions. We mentioned this earlier about soaking for a period of time, and then this is where we're going to talk about cooking them. So we've got them all soaked. We're coming back to them the next day. There's a few methods to do that, and one of them that I really like that I want to start off with is the thermal method. And the reason why I like this, because basically it's just me that eats this way in my household. We have 2 different diets going on. But you can get bigger thermoses to do a family.
Yeah.
Yesterday we soaked some buckwheat. This morning I boiled a couple cups of water. Well, we had about a half a cup of buckwheat that turned into about a cup. So the ratio is typically, it's 2 to 1, right? So if you have a cup of beans or a cup of grains, you typically want 2 cups of water. And that's explained on this cooking methods sheet that is going to be downloadable and free at the end of the podcast. But so I boiled some water. I don't know if you can see this. And I poured it over the beans. Now, it's all the way full because we've soaked these and they've expanded. And so I have a whole thermos of buckwheat with boiled water over them. You just cover them up and you just let them sit for another 24 hours. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and my grains are going to be done. This is where I'm going to assign Maddie homework. I want you to put them on your cupboard. Tomorrow they're going to be cooked. They're going to be soft, and that's the key. You want them to be soft.
Okay, so the water is going to be absorbed by tomorrow?
Well, it won't all be absorbed. You'll have to drain it.
Okay.
But the buckwheat will be cooked.
So first we did 2 cups and we let it soak for 24 hours, and then what you did after that was boil water and pour more in it to cook it in a thermal?
So, yeah,
And
I'm
if
glad you're
people-
asking about this. So after you soak it, you're going to want to rinse it.
Okay.
So soak, rinse, put it in a thermos. We're going to talk about other ways. But this way, you put it in your thermos, and then you boil 2 cups of water and put it on there and tighten the lid. Does that seem simple enough?
Yeah.
It doesn't take long. So what I want you to do with this tomorrow, take it out of here, drain it, and use it however you want for the week, and let me know how it goes.
Okay.
So on our next podcast, you can share your experience.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. You can eat them plain. You can put honey, maple. You can do a little bit of some type of sugar alternative. I wouldn't recommend processed sugar at all.
No.
We're excited to hear how Maddie uses her grains next
I'm
week.
going to figure it out.
And then I do have another assignment for her because we also soaked some chickpeas. These have been rinsed. Again, you want to drain them and rinse them. You're going to have to cook these.
Okay.
So the other couple methods that I'm going to give her, if you have a slow cooker, throw your beans in your slow cooker and just put them on low for 6 to 10, 12 hours. They want to be soft. If you can mush that, it's done cooking. Some fun things you could do with chickpeas, make your own hummus if you want.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, or you can sprinkle them on your raw salad for the day, or eat them plain.
So besides a slow cooker, how else would you get it soft?
Oh, yeah. So you can always do it on the stove. You would just want to put it on low and just let it cook. So she's got some homework, and we're going to hear how it goes for her with her beans, with her grains, how she used them. And more importantly, Maddie, I want to know if you feel any difference in your body.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. And
I'll write it down.
maybe it will take some time, incorporating something new. Your body will adjust, and
Yeah,
maybe
I'm sure
you'll
it
feel
will
something
be.
right off, but maybe you won't. But
Who knows? We'll find out.
yeah. The weekly rhythm will create ease, and it supports nourishment. Preparation can support you all week long. And as a reminder, this isn't about changing things all at once. You don't have to all of a sudden take everything out of your pantry and start stocking it with beans and grains and seeds.
Yeah.
But it's becoming familiar with these things. Maybe you go to the store and you buy one bean and just try it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's letting whole foods take up a little more space
Yeah.
on the shelf, on the table, in your body. Nourishment doesn't need to be complicated to be powerful. And that's what the message we want to convey to you today, is that nourishment doesn't have to be complicated to be powerful. That is a very good sentence to end on. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. I hope you found this very educational and learned a little bit more about some of these things that seem unfamiliar and almost intimidating. Hopefully we've removed some of that for you today. Leave us a comment. Let us know how your diet's going. And if you do want to do a homework assignment, an experiment like Maddie's going to do this week, we would love to hear how it goes for you as well. What issues did you have? What questions came up? How did your body feel? We'd love to hear it all.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. See you next time.
Bye.
Okay.